Fine. So I think we 12 are there, but mostly people from the, I mean, professors are here. So we are also live on YouTube, so people can see it later on. So, so after years of experience, realize I think we 12 are there, but 1 minute. Just 1 minute, everyone. Just I am okay. Wait. So stop. It is live on YouTube, so it started replaying. Okay, so great. So what industry wants? Like I was talking about, industry wants the skill resources, but our academia is not able to provide the skill resources. So thought of Capstack, thought of coming and solving this problem, coming together and solving this problem with the academia and industry. So we have jointly, I mean, HReXO, if the Mr. Bhagwati Prasad is there and other Vignan colleges there. So you know that HReXO is the platform where we are managing the global leaders, CEOs, CXOs, and all CHROs, CIOs, and all the tech business leader. So we are continuously in touch with them, and at the same time, our team is working with all the industries, and we are understanding their real-time demands. So what we are teaching them, like artificial intelligence, we have just taken one subject, artificial intelligence. We are teaching nothing. I mean, people are coming from the academia, going to the industry, but they are not able to crack the interviews. They are not even, able to stand for even 5 minutes in front of the program managers, project managers, okay, in the interview. And in fact, you are also attending the trainings and all. We really don't know, I mean, what kind of training our institution, our training agencies are providing. They are not able to fulfill the industry demands. So, so we thought of, I mean, my friend Mr. Vishwanath Banerjee, he is the pioneer in the tech and technology side. He is 20 years of experience in the AI, ML, cloud data, and as a solution architect and consultant to many companies. He has also been the entrepreneur. So when I was discussing with him, we thought of coming and solving this problem with the industry. So, Mr. Banerjee, I think it's over to you now, and you can take it forward. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Abhishek, and welcome. Good afternoon, and welcome everyone to this webinar. Uh, I'm super excited, to be part of this, very innovative discussion, which we are going to participate in the next, 60 to 80 minutes. And I'm
Mr.
sure.
Banerjee, your video is paused, I think, just interruption, so that I mean people can see you and at least kind of
Okay, okay.
live interaction. Yes.
Okay, let me start the video. Yeah, yeah. Okay, welcome again. So, I'm very much excited. In fact, super excited to be part of this program, this webinar, and we will discuss like how this AI industry is shaping up, and how we can merge this gap between the academics and the industry, like how we can fulfill the demand of the industry by churning out, artificial intelligence professionals, data science professionals who can contribute on a larger aspect to the development of this emerging technologies, developing products, innovative products, and boom the industry. So let me, walk you through some of the my presentation, and then we'll have a question session at the end of this of the presentation, where we can I will be very happy to answer your questions. So let me just share, uh, and then we will take it from here. Okay. I think my screen sharing is disabled. Abhishek, how can I share it? You have to enable it. You have to give me, presentation access.
Yes, enabled, enabled. Go ahead, please.
Enabled. Okay, great. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so let me make it bigger. So the next 60 minutes, like we will be. So this is the agenda. This is the objective of this webinar, the discussions. So we'll try to understand what is artificial intelligence and its relationship with the other buzzwords which we hear quite often: machine learning, data science, natural language processing, and all those things. We'll define ML, which is machine learning, and understand its relationship again with data science. We'll understand the machine learning approach, and we'll see and we'll identify the different applications of machine learning, how machine learning is used in the industry, how we are getting benefited from artificial intelligence and machine learning. Okay, so let us first understand, like, how this field of artificial intelligence has emerged. Okay, so let's understand the reason behind the emergence of this data economy. Okay, the emergence of AI and how this data economy has shaped this artificial intelligence. So as you see in this graph, like, minimize this. So as you see in the graph, from 2009 till now, like, for in the last 11 years, there has been a data explosion. The data has been constantly rising. The data is has been churned, and different kinds of insights are drawn from this data for business benefits. So data economy is one of the factors behind the rise of AI, and this data economy refers to how much data has grown over the past few years and how much more it can grow in the coming years. So this explosion of data, okay, this explosion of data, which we see here, which is rising, has given rise to the new data economy, and there is a constant battle for data ownership amongst the companies to derive benefits from it. Okay, so so this explosion of data has given rise to this new economy. There is a new paradigm shift, okay, from uh, the kind of data which we were using earlier. We like very much structured data. Now data definition has changed. Like, we also work on data which is very much unstructured, which we cannot store in the traditional databases. Okay, and there has been a constant, there's a people, the large companies, they want a pie of this huge data, the data which is getting accumulated over the years. Okay, now now we know that this data has grown over the period of time, okay, at a rapid pace over the past few years, and it will continue to grow. Now let's understand why we need AI. Okay, data is there. There has been data explosion, and we are storing and archiving this data. But what is the need of AI in all these things? Okay, now this increase in data volume has given rise to the big data, which helps manage huge amount of data. Now, data science helps analyze this, data, this big data. So, the science which is associated with data is going to bring in a new paradigm where one can teach the machines, okay, to learn from this data and derive a variety of useful insights, which is giving rise to this artificial intelligence. Now, even though artificial intelligence has been around as an academic and scientific discipline since 1950s, AI technology has gained a lot of traction in the last few years. Okay, so as you know that current surge in AI research, investment, and real business applications is unprecedented over the last few years. Market, I'll share a statistics with you. The market intelligence firm IDC in an article like new IDC spending guide in September 2018, they predicted that worldwide spending on the cognitive and artificial intelligence would reach around $77 billion dollars by 2022. Similarly, Gartner has also projected uh, that the business value which will be created by AI will be around $3.9 trillion dollars by 2022. Now, AI application do not just have the promise to yield, better business results, but also improve the human the human experience as a whole. Okay, now, so with this background, let's try to understand like what is artificial intelligence. Okay, what is the emergence of artificial intelligence? Now, the science associated with data is going towards a new paradigm where we teach machines to learn from the data and then derive a variety of useful insights, and that is what is artificial intelligence. So the models which we create, it learns from the huge amount of data, and then it basically gives us uh, new insights, or to our business, like and from thereby we make use of this data to get some monetary benefits out of that. So artificial intelligence, what is it? How can we what or we can define artificial intelligence? So it is the intelligence which is displayed by machines that will simulate the human and animal intelligence. So artificial intelligence, it tries to mimic the human brain, okay, and it tries to learn from the data which is given to it, and it tries to understand and develop uh, an algorithm which will basically try to predict results based on its learning from the data. Okay, how how effectively it is, how accurately it is able to uh, uh, learn and predict the outcome. It depends on basically the amount of data through which it goes through its learning process. Okay, so that's what is artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence basically, it's able to learn from the data and try to simulate, as a human brain learns from the experience, and then it tries to act according to that experience. So the machine also does something like that. Now, so artificial intelligence is basically it's redefining industries by providing a lot of innovations, like a great personalization to users and automating processes. So if you see here, like these are some of the innovative products of artificial intelligence, like self-driving cars, where without a human intervention, the machine, the models, okay, which we have developed, it takes control of the driving, okay, based on it's learning from the huge amount of data through which it learns. Then you have this Siri phone, the Apple Siri, which basically is an intelligence system which takes any human request, and basically it gives the output, as if it acts like a type of a personal secretary. Okay. And then you have AlphaGo, Then you have chess, okay, artificial intelligence models. It plays with human on a chess game. Uh, Amazon Echo is another, very innovative product based on text processing of data. Then IBM Watson has come up with a series of products like, where you have this concentric, robo. Then you have, a lot of, innovative HR products developed on IBM Watson, then on, on retail and other things. So so these are some of the very well known products of artificial intelligence. But if you ask me, like, specific, how it is affecting the different industries, let me give you a little detail on that. Like, healthcare has seen a great uh, contribution of artificial intelligence. So contribution of like technology giants like Microsoft, Google, Apple, and IBM in the healthcare sector holds significant importance for the industry. Now, AI is applied for a wide range of healthcare services like, data mining for identifying the patterns and then carrying out more accurate diagnosis and treatment of medical conditions, medical imaging, then medication management, drug discovery, and then robotic surgery. So these are the various areas where AI has contributed in a larger extent in the healthcare industry. Talking about IBM Watson, like uh, this application of IBM Watson can derive the meaning and basically and the context of a set of structured and unstructured data that can be critical for selecting a treatment plan, and then analyze the patterns, medical record to identify the potential treatment. So IBM Watson functions like a human doctor here. Okay. Then, there's a platform on which is built on human artificial intelligence for drug discovery, which is developed by a pharma company, which leverages big data and AI to detect the link between the diseases and drugs. Okay, so that's a very innovative product which has been the because of the artificial intelligence. Coming to retail and e-commerce, like retail and e-commerce is perhaps the only space where applications of AI is the most observable to the majority of the end users. So, uh, like like if you the product recommendation system on your Amazon account are nothing but a real-time application of complex AI algorithms, which determines which products you are more likely to buy. So they have a robust, recommendation engine. So whenever you buy a Amazon product, you know, uh, something like this, when you buy an Amazon product, okay, you're buying a book on Amazon, it also recommends, the type of books which may also like to buy. So either you book more orders, or maybe you change your decision and take one of the book from your recommendation system. So now this happens because Amazon collects huge amounts of data from users and then use the recommendation system which is developed on AI to recommend the best products according to the users buying or shopping experience and shopping patterns. Okay, so then then also you have like to enhance the customer experience, many chatbots are available on e-commerce websites which are powered by AI, and they're programmed to provide instant answers to a range of common customer queries. On the food industries, AI has found applications in the food industry as well. Like, for example, you can think of a robot which is preparing your cup of tea. Okay. Uh, so one company has prepared a robotic tea maker based on AI and IoT capabilities. So, the smart tea maker basically enables the users to create their own recipe from a web interface, mobile app, and the machine itself. So similarly, in other areas in food processing, like uh, you have products which basically which the food sorting equipment, okay, which targets like different kinds of snacks and ready food, and basically, and then it it processes the food and prepares it. So it's again done by a robot. Okay. On the banking and finance services, there's been a huge application of AI. So banking and financial services industry is undergoing a massive transformation due to the onset of AI applications. So, like there are all the human agents in many places are being replaced by intelligent software robots for processing, like loan applications in fractions of seconds, very fast. Similarly, you have this uh, 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 like this you have this robo advisors which are created using AI, which can analyze your social media activity, emails, and other personal data to identify the sectors and the companies which is aligned to your long-term needs and objectives. Okay. Also, AI-based chatbots are being deployed in the insurance sector to improve your customers' experience and create customer insurance plans and products based on the customer data. Uh, Another very important application of AI in the BFSI sector is the fraud detection. Okay, like for example, I can give you an instance which I know, like Mastercard uses AI-based decision intelligence technology to detect fraudulent transactions by analyzing various data points. In other industries also, like AI has been used vehemently. For example, in logistics and transportation, uh, the use of machine learning and predictive analytics has already transformed the supply chain management, making it a seamless process. Many warehouses use the AI-based mm, robots for sorting and packaging the products in the warehouses. Uh, Also, AI algorithms are used increasingly in the shipment to find the quickest shipment route and support the last mile delivery of the consignments. Okay. Transportation sector, as we have seen, the self-driving cars. Okay, will basically the will be the next big thing which is coming up. Okay, so still it is in the research phase, but very soon we will see, AI-based self-driving vehicles will potentially replace the manual driving and make, or driving on roads safer. Tesla, then Uber, Volvo, Volkswagen, they are basically on the forefront of this research. In the travel industry also, we have seen, AI-enabled chatbots to improve customer service and engagement, uh, mainly because of their the 24 by 7 presence of the AI-based chatbot and instant resolution of the queries. Uh, on the real estate, we see application of AI is opening up new opportunities for agents, brokers, and clients alike. Okay, so uh, in the entertainment and gaming industry, we see a huge uh, upsurge in we see a lot of science fiction movies are built with the concept of AI. Okay, then also in the video games gaming industry also we see a lot of opportunities are there in the using the AI. Okay, so as we see, uh, AI is basically touching each and every corner of the industry. Any domain you find AI being used. Manufacturing is one area where AI is being deployed on a large scale nowadays. So, like, in factories, machine learning and artificial networks are employed to support predictive maintenance of critical industrial equipment, which can basically accurately predict any asset malfunctioning. It helps the management take timely measures to restore the equipment and prevent costly unplanned downtime. Robots are an integral part of the production process. The majority of industrial robots are often stationary. Uh, uh, then and the use of AI in robots has basically uh, they basically take instructions from humans and then work proactively alongside with them. Also, in the quality control, AI algorithms are being used to notify the manufacturing units of potential production faults that can lead to product quality issues. Uh, so we see that AI is basically being used by most of the industries today, and there is a lot of research which is going on in AI to build innovative products which can make our life easier. Okay, now now we have been hearing this buzzwords, like artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, text processing, text analytics, data mining, all these words. Now let's understand, like, what is the relationship between this artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science. That will clarify, what should I learn, or what should be my priority, and what is the relationship between them. So so these all fall in the same domain, like data science, machine learning, and AI. They fall in the same domain and are connected to each other, but they have the specific applications and their meaning. So if we see here the pink rectangle, I tried to explain it through a flow diagram. So this is your data part, okay, where you have the data science is represented by this pink rectangle. So here you have the data, okay, the raw data which we get. Now this data basically which we store. Now this data is the raw data which needs to be transformed. So this data is transformed and then into basically different kinds of features we derive from this data. And then this red box is a machine learning box. So in machine learning, what happens is this this data basically, we the model is basically learns from this data, and then based on its learning, and then we try it out on some test data, and it basically gives us the predictions, like it's able to predict what can happen, okay, or what will happen, right? So there are different kinds of techniques in machine learning, like we used supervised learning or unsupervised learning or reinforcement learning or deep learning, okay. And then uh, based on its learning, we test the model uh, on set of data which it has never seen, and then we test the model does the prediction, and we check the accuracy of that data of the model. Then you have something called artificial intelligence, which is again a part of machine learning, okay. So here basically uh, the action happens, okay, in artificial intelligence based on the different predictions and the different insights, okay. In AI, the different actions are taken and automated decisions are taken. Basically, what needs to be done now. Okay. So you see here, this is basically, there's an interconnection between the data science, the machine learning, and artificial intelligence. Although three of them all fall in the same domain, but basically they are all does their own type of job, right? When we look at them, separately. Uh, any questions on this before I proceed? Okay. So let's understand now these two areas, AI and machine learning. Okay. So machine learning basically is a subset of artificial intelligence, and basically uh, here you have the machine learning, which has got the models we create, which has got the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. And artificial intelligence is basically mimicking the human intelligence. Okay, so we make intelligent machines and programs which can mimic a human brain and acts accordingly. So machine learning is an approach or a subset of artificial intelligence that is based on the idea that machines can be given access to the data along with the ability to learn from it. So in machine learning, we develop models which learns from huge amount of data, and then it it is able to basically predict, like, what can happen based on its learning from the data. So what is machine learning? So machine learning is the capability of artificial intelligence systems to learn by learn from the patterns, different patterns, by extracting different patterns from the data. Is called machine learning. So we run a model on huge amount of data, and this model basically tries to understand the patterns, and it learns from it, and then it is intelligent enough to classify a problem, and it's able to predict, like, what can be the outcome of that. So so there are few things which machine learning does. Let's try to understand it in more detail. So as we understand it, till now we have understood, like, machine learning is basically a learning. Okay, the machine learns from the data. So it uses the data to detect the patterns in a data set, and then adjust the program actions accordingly. So based on the patterns it finds in the data, it basically learns what to do next. And secondly, it focuses on the development of the computer programs that can teach themselves how to grow and change when exposed to a new data. Okay, so basically, it's nothing is hard coded in machine learning. Okay, so in machine learning we do not code. It is basically, uh, it is based on, it's learning, the model's learning from the data, from the patterns, and and it teaches itself, like, how to change when it is given a new set of data based on its learning. Thirdly, it helps, the computer to find hidden insights using iterative algorithms without being explicitly programmed. Okay, so it is it it becomes intelligent enough to find out, different insights from its learning of the data. And fourthly, it basically automates the analytical model building. So once you have the model, you deploy it, you have basically an automated system where, where you can use a new set of data, and it should be able to basically work and give you different insights from the data. Okay, so these are the features of machine learning. Now, what's the difference? Like, can't we do it like where we're not doing it in the traditional system in which we are developing our programs, computer programs? So, what is the difference between the traditional approach versus the machine learning approach? So, in the traditional way, the way we were developing programs, we have the data on which we were running the programs, and this program was giving us an output. Okay. So the traditional programming, the data and the program both run on the computer and produces an output. In the machine learning, the data and the output is run on the computer to create a program. So here, basically, we have the data, we have the output, the model, which learns. So we have the data and we have the output, and then this data and the output combination, it creates a program. Okay, it is run on the computer and it creates a program, and which learns from the data, and then it generates a model. Okay, this model is basically is able to give us different insights of this data. Okay, so here nothing is explicitly programmed in machine learning. Okay, so traditional programming, it relies on hard-coded rules. So you have the problem and you code the rules, like these are the business rules which has to be, has to be maintained in in the program. Then if it is basically and then we evaluate the code. If it is fine, then if it passes, then we deploy it in the program in the production. If it fails, then we review the errors, and then again we look at the problem, and then again we change the programs, and then we again test it, evaluate it, and if it passes, we deploy it on production. Whereas in the machine learning approach, we have the model which gets trained, the algorithm gets trained on a data, and if basically, and we test it out on a new set of data, we evaluate it, and if it passes, we deploy the model in production. So here it is machine learning. Basically, it relies on the learning patterns based on the on a data, right, on which it is learning. And if it fails, then we review the errors. We again look, we retrain the algorithm, the machine learning algorithm on the data set, and then again, we evaluate that model based on test data. If it passes, then we deploy that model in production. So that's the difference between the traditional approach and the machine learning approach. Now, data science and machine learning, again, they are like two brothers, which goes hand in hand, because, data science help evaluate the data for the machine learning algorithm. So data science is basically the umbrella. Okay. Data science is the umbrella where you have, under the machine learning, the artificial intelligence, the deep learning, everything comes under the umbrella of data science. So data science basically it has the data, and it helps to evaluate the data for building up the different models, machine learning models. So in data science, we use the statistical methods to find the different patterns in the data. Okay, and in statistical machine learning uses the same techniques, same mathematical formulae as data science. Now, these techniques get integrated into algorithms that we learn and improve on their own. Okay, so these algorithms are developed based on these techniques, which learns from the data and tries to improve the algorithm on its own. Uh, Machine learning, it facilitates this artificial intelligence. So it enables the machines to learn from the different patterns in the data. Okay. So here you have the relationship between the machine learning and the data science. Now we have different machine learning techniques. Okay. So It uses a number of theories and techniques from data science. You have the classification, categorization, clustering, train analysis, anomaly detection, visualization, and decision making. So these are the seven different techniques or different theories we make use uh, to develop a machine learning model. And let's go through each of them and try to understand what are these different techniques are in brief. So classification. So basically, it's a technique which is where the computer program, it learns from the data input which is given to it, and then uses this learning to classify new observations. Okay, so basically, if you have a binary classification which gives the results as as yes or no, so we will use a classification technique of machine learning, which will basically learn from the data, and then uses its learning, what it has learned from the data, and then it will classify whether uh, the prediction is whether it is a yes or no prediction or whatever it is, right? So that's classification. So it classifies into either this or that. Next is categorization. So categorization is a technique of organizing the data into categories, different categories for the most effective use. I can give you an example, like if you must be using Google News. So Google News uses categorization to categorize the data into different categories, like whether it's a sports data or entertainment data or political news data. So different news categories are organizes the data into different news categories, and based on your search, it tries to reach the closest category of that news, and and brings you the results of all the news from that category. Okay, clustering is also a technique of grouping a set of objects in such a way that objects of the same group are more similar to each other than to those in the other groups. Okay, so here basically we form different clusters. Okay, so we don't give the results as such, but what happens in this model learns from the patterns of the data, and creates groups. Okay, where similar kinds of groups which are closer to each other. Okay, which are very similar to each other than the other groups. Trend analysis is a technique which is aimed to project both the current and the future movement, okay, of events through the use of the time series and data analysis. Stock market prediction is a very good example of time series, the trend analysis. Okay, so how the stocks will move up or down, it can be predicted using machine learning trend analysis techniques. Anomaly detection is basically a technique to identify the cases which are very much unusual. Okay, so with if the data is more or less homogeneous data, there may be occurrences where we see the data points which are not which are basically outside the common uh, pattern of the data. So we try to detect those anomalies using the anomaly detection, very much used in the manufacturing industry or the chemical industry, to detect defects using anomaly detection. Visualization is basically how we present finally the data in a pictorial or graphical format. So when once we present the outcome in the visual way using graphs or or charts, so it enables the decision makers to see the analytics more effectively, and get a better insight of the outcome of the, the predictions, or the analysis of the data. Decision making is a technique or the skill which provides you with the ability to influence the decisions uh, with the kind of possibilities which can be can be looked upon as evidences. Okay, so decision making is another basically technique in machine learning. So these are the seven different kinds of machine learning techniques and theories which we use to develop machine learning models. Okay. So as I told in the beginning, like artificial intelligence and machine learning are increasingly used in various functions, various industries, like image processing, very much used in the healthcare industry, in uh, medical sciences. Robotics, very much used in the manufacturing, food industries. Data mining, then text analytics, healthcare, and all these things. So let's go see some examples of this, like in image processing, like we see in the Facebook, like who are there in the photos is able to identify and find the similarity of the friends in a group of photographs and all. Uh, Optical character recognition (OCRs), okay, are good examples of image processing where we can extract the some literature out of text using OCR, using spice Spacky and other technologies. Then self-driving car here, it's a very big example of image processing, where the images are detected and analyzed to understand, like what kind of image it is, and the car will take decision whether to put brake or pass through it based on the analysis, the processing of those images. Robotics is used in the medical, in healthcare, manufacturing, and and other industries also, where robots can basically replace the human work, and you can use robots to do all those kinds of activities. Uh, and data mining is used mostly for anomaly detection, then grouping and predictions. Okay, like if all the data, the health data of patients can be collected, and we can basically group them and predict, like the occurrence of heart attack and stroke predictions, like so what is the possibility of heart attack and stroke predictions of a patient or a number of patients based on their health parameters. And then we have use data mining for to use association rules, like like customers who bought this book has also bought that book. Okay, so you try to sell more items using association rules, using data mining. Okay, so these are the different applications or the different techniques to do this in machine learning. Okay. Video games. Video games are very popular, applications of machine learning and AI. So here we use reinforcement learning in some games. So here basically, the character moves or takes some action based on the reinforcement learning. Okay, Pokemon is one of the most popular games which was developed using machine learning. Then text analytics, which is also called, natural language processing (NLP). Here, it's very much used in social media for sentiment analysis, email spam filtering. Then we extract information from the websites and all these things. Chatbots, AI-based chatbots. So there are a lot of applications of analysis, text analytics, using machine learning. It's a part of machine learning only, NLP, natural language processing. Okay. Healthcare, like healthcare, as I told you in the very beginning, like healthcare has got exuberant, use of AI and machine learning. So there are, a lot of companies which are building innovative products, on healthcare, which is basically has transformed this healthcare industry to a large extent. Uh, so healthcare has got a lot of usage of AI and machine learning. So that's the whole discussion, which where I was trying to give you an understanding of what is this machine learning, AI, and data science, all this stuff, and how it is used in the industry, and how much the popularity is gaining because of its tremendous use in the industry today. So we have understood, like, the explosion of data, which has given rise to this new economy known as the data economy. AI refers to this intelligence in machines that simulates the human intelligence. And AI, what it does, it is AI systems, they learn by extracting patterns from the data, which is known as machine learning. Statistical machine learning uses the mathematics and different techniques similar to data science. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are being extremely used in various functions such as image processing, text analysis, healthcare, data mining, robotics, and video games. Okay, now I'll talk about some of the kind of projects which we do, okay, which we teach our students. These are, industry-based, projects which uh, helps the students who are coming from different fields, and also working people who are from different areas. They want to learn data science and AI and machine learning to gain some experience, like, which helps them to get jobs quickly in the market. Okay. uh, like, I give you some interesting, some few of these projects I want to discuss with you, which will be interesting. Like, market-based analysis, where we build a recommendations engine which will predict the products to be purchased by an Instacart consumer again. So we see that we compel the user to buy the same kind of product over and over again from the same company, same retailer. So here we use analyze data on customer orders over the time to predict which previously purchased products will be in the user's next order. Okay. So this is a project where which helps, which is helps the retailer to enhance his business over and over again from the same customer. Then secondly, demand prediction of driver availability using multi-step time series analysis. So we see that especially today in the food industry, where uh, we employ the drivers to uh, to pick up and deliver foods to the customers at home, or in offices or other places where time is very crucial and availability of the drivers is very important. So if there is a huge demand for delivery of food at a particular zone or particular area, and the drivers are not available there, okay, then there is a demand for driver, and this demand for driver surges the price of the food. Okay, so it is a supervised learning mission project where we predict the availability of a driver in a specific area by using multi-step time series analysis. Then thirdly, there's another project on the inventory demand using the historical sales data. So we see that in large companies, like where inventory or supply chain management is not being managed properly, there's a whole huge pile of products which are lying in the inventory not being used, which is a loss to the company. So in this machine learning project, we'll develop a model to accurately forecast the inventory demand based on the historical sales data. Also, chatbot, AI chatbot, so using text analytics, natural language processing, AI application, you can develop an intelligent chatbot using we build a core conversational engine for a chatbot, where we'll use the NLTK text classification library to make this chatbot. For the BFSI sector, like loan eligibility prediction. So, in multinational banks where you have many branches and there are thousands and thousands of customers who are applying for loans, different kinds of loans, it becomes very difficult for the loan managers to approve the loan. Also, approving the loan is also sometimes very subjective. So to make their jobs easy, okay, we can build a classification model which will predict if an applicant should get a loan or not. So this model basically will can within seconds can clear off the entire pile of loan applications, and it should be able to take a decision on whether the loan to which are the applicant to whom loan should be given and to whom the loan cannot be given based on the data, based on past data of the customers. On the HR side, like resume parsing, same like banks. Here, HR managers, they get huge amount of resume CV from the probable applicants who wants to try for a job in that company, and it becomes very difficult for the recruiter to go through each and every CV and understand like whether that CV matches the job description or the skills and other projects which he has done, how much it matches the job description, or how much relevant is that CV to the requirement for that position. So here, we can develop a resume parser application, which can take millions of resume, parse the required fields, and then categorize them. Okay, so that will basically help the recruiters to pick up from a whole set of thousands of CVs, select few which are very much relevant to the job application, and send them invite for interview. So that will basically save their time and effort. So like that, many such industry projects, the students who do the course with us, they do such kind of projects which help them to enhance their job prospects, and and they also get hands-on practical examples of learning this AI and machine learning technologies from the very ground level. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm open to that.